What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Right now, I am currently walking around a very old building. This very old building was built in the late 1800s, and it was a bank in a little North Texas town. Currently, it resides in Dallas, Texas at Old City Park. We're going to walk around Old City Park, and I'm going to show you some very old structures today, very old buildings. They are real. Most have been relocated, to this area in Dallas. So most of this stuff was somewhere else in the state, but they moved it here for the historic significance. But I'm currently in the bank, and this little bank, I'm going to show you around a little. But at the end of today's video, I'm going to show you a place called Millermore Mansion. It resides on this property as well, and allegedly it's haunted. And again, we're going to double down on the ghost story thing. If you've seen my last video about Goatman's Bridge, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, go watch it. But we're going to check it out. So this is the entrance to the bank. I just walked in, and if you look right here in the back, behind the counter, which is probably where people would come to deposit, withdraw money, look at these old devices, old cash register type devices, very old cabinets, wood cabinets in the back, an old safe, small stools that the associates probably sat on. Looks like some sort of device probably for when it was cold, to get heat into the building. Maybe over here is where they had their slips, deposit, withdrawal forms. The floor creaks as I walk, very old wood floor. They relocated this thing, so naturally it's very old. Look at this clock. Back here, probably one of the old bankers' area to work. Crazy. Another small safe. And if you walk back, they say this secondary area was actually a dentist office. So if you walk in, look at this old dentist chair. Probably where the dentist sat. All of his tools and devices, a bookshelf. Freaking crazy. So this is the old saloon. I don't know what's original architecture, if there is any left over, but you can clearly see, if you read this, the original location was Snow Hill in Collin County. Could imagine what happened in this saloon back in the day. I tried to go in, it was locked, but if you look in there, bunch of old guys probably sitting there getting drunk. You see the old bar right there. Pretty cool. So I'm going to show you something in this little area. Could you imagine? Imagine how we come together as a family, eat dinner, watch TV. Probably 99% of the time people are on their phones now. But I want you to look at this one. Take a look at how it was in the early 1800s or even sooner than that. How they sat around the table, ate, and were a family. Nothing different as far as cooking utensils, same kind of stuff we use today. You got your roller, your wooden spoons. Everything was cooked over a fire. You clearly see. I know that arm that the pot's on swings in and out. I don't want to touch it because I don't want to get in trouble. Old cast iron type pots. All your firewood right next to the fireplace so you can keep your cooking going. Look at these old little chairs. Old iron. An old ironing board. You had to heat that up on the fire to get it hot. Could you imagine? And then they got to talk about their all the daily life stuff right here in this little area. Little table. So this church right here was called, and I guess still is, Pilot Grove Church. It's from Pilot Grove, Texas. Circa 1895 is when it was built. Clearly it's a very old structure, you could tell. Let's go in and see what it looked like in 1895 when people went to church. So now I've currently entered Pilot Grove Church. And I'm trying to imagine, as should anybody, And the reason that I find this interesting, and I'm sure there's many others out there, it's just the historical significance. These pews. I mean, can you imagine? At one point, there were people sitting in here, come in here to worship, praise God, and be around a community of people that also wanted to do the same. Could you imagine right here, somebody giving a service to those who wanted to attend Pilot Grove Church? Where I'm standing now, somebody stood once before. And I'm sure many people stood once before. That's what I find interesting. There's history everywhere. You got to appreciate it. Because one day, we'll all be gone. 100, 200 years will go by. And there'll be another community of people on this planet walking around doing the same thing, wondering what came before them and being intrigued by it. Look at that old piano. Look at this old organ. It's crazy. Pilot Grove Church, everybody, circa 1895. Let's go check out some more stuff. All right, everybody. So this next one, I'm going to stop saying was, because it is. It's just was active. Renner School, Renner, Texas. Let's go in and take a look around. So currently, this was the old Renner School interior. I want you to see all these old desks real quick. You see all these old desks? I do remember going to school in a small town, and we had similar desks like that. But you can clearly see that each desk goes from desk to seat, attaches to another desk, then seat, desk, and seat. Now, I did have those back when I was younger where it was a desk-seat combo. But clearly, these is just a train of desks and chairs, and that's how they did it. Could you imagine the kids learning in this classroom? Teacher standing up on this small stage area and teaching the class? Crazy. This building right here, this was a doctor's office built in 1890. It was on East Jefferson Street in Oak Cliff at one point. And let's go in and see if we can take a look around. If you look at this sign real quick, Dr. Chaz Roser. And the door's open. Let's go see what's inside. So as I'm walking around, I see they have a bed, probably the patient bed. They also got all these utensils, probably where they put stuff after doing small surgeries and stuff like that. You can see they have kind of like what they would have now. They probably filled that with water to clean towels or clean utensils. Over here, you can see some stuff that they probably used back in those times. I'd hate to have that saw used on me. Old clamps, old stuff like that, old scalpels. Pretty cool. Old syringes. It's all pretty cool. Walk around. I see some more stuff. It kind of looks like they would use this area for medicine creating of some sort. They got all kinds of stuff on the wall, different kind of things that you would use to concoct a different kind of medicine or certain recipes. You know, beakers, funnels, stuff like that. Look at this old phone. Reminds me of the phone they used to, the officers used to call when they say that they had taken out Bonnie and Clyde and the job was done. Pretty similar. This right here. This was the old Worth Hotel, circa 1904, from Denton Drive in Carrollton, Texas. Been moved here from that area and be preserved for its history. Let's go take a look. So currently on the interior of the Worth Hotel. I'm going to go up these stairs a little bit. So basically, this hotel's from 1904. Could you imagine the history of the people who have come through this place, stayed here, done things here? And this roof is so low. But, you know, imagine who stepped foot in this place? Who came in here and what have they done? Right now, it's obviously just being preserved. as a historical landmark for its significance. But could you just imagine? Check this out. We got this old suitcase here and that old bag over there. Just like in the doctor's office, the bag, somebody owned these things. Somebody once upon a time owned these things, and people would come through this place and people stayed. Do you imagine who stayed in this room? Just imagine. They were passing through town. They stayed in the room. And then they moved on. So here it is. This is the reason we came. Millermore House. This was the original location on Bonneview Road in Dallas, Texas, circa 1855 through 1862. And I'm going to tell you why we came here to see this. So basically, this house goes back a long time. This goes back to the Civil War. Because Mr. Miller of the Millermore House, he's actually from Kentucky. And they say that everything on the interior is exactly intact and left as it was since 1861. So, as it pertains to the supernatural and the haunting type stuff, people like security and caretakers of the property, they say they'll give tours of the place, or they will be riding around watching the property at night. They'll see lights come on. They say that photos that are on the walls in there, the eyes will follow you as you walk around, and all sorts of crazy things happen. Again, this area closes at 4 every day. It's free to enter. There is no cost for admission, so you can come as you want if you ever visit this area of Dallas. But as it pertains to the Millermore House, this structure, just like every other one here, was moved from its original location. And you could tell. I mean, just look at it. The old rocking chairs give it a twist. The pillars, that's classic. Classic architecture for early America. You got that old balcony, the American flag. I think that's awesome. The old shutters, panels, louver panels on the side of the windows. This is Millermore Mansion. Now I'm going to walk up and see if it's unlocked and see if we can go inside and take a look around. But if not, look up the story of Millermore Mansion and get a little more in-depth detail on it. But if you want to talk places that are haunted, they say this is one of them. So I tried to open the front door. I was not able to access it. I'm walking around the back, which I'm sure it ain't gonna be no different. I'm sure it's locked as well. But let's try one more time, see if we can get in. So looks like every door is locked. I'm gonna peek into a few windows and see if I can give y'all a couple shots of the interior. Like I said, they say it's remained the same since 1861. So you got your dining room area over there on the wall. Don't know if that's Miss Miller, the one that they say haunts the place. But if it is, they say those eyes will follow you if you're inside. Very, very creepy. Now, the old type of clothing, she looks right for the times. But I look at the face and put on some Michael Kors or some type of common, modern type of clothing. She looks like she could be a normal woman living today. And that's what I try to do with a lot of the old photos I see of people from early centuries. Because imagine that face in a more modern attire. And so let's go over here and check this one out. So right there would have been the front door entrance where I originally tried to come in. And this door is straight across from it. You got stairs that lead to the upstairs area. And then a room probably leads over to like a living room area. You got a small like hideaway area underneath this stairway. Can you imagine kids playing hide and seek? That'd be the first hiding spot I would look. If you want a quick description of the Millermore house, you can pause the video and read this. More of a historical significance, not pertaining to the hauntings or alleged ghost activity. This was fun. I didn't get to show you everything. I really came here for the Millermore house. I didn't know they had all this other stuff out here. There's a lot of cool stuff. Again, I'm sure I'll be back out here. And if you haven't been here, please come out and check this place out. It's absolutely awesome. It seems like they take real good care of it. There was a couple structures that were closed. They said they were doing renovating on it, but so they definitely do their best to try to keep it up. But anyway, the Millermore house. You say it's haunted. Is it? Anyway, thank you, everybody. Again, if there's somewhere you want to go, go. If there's somebody you want to meet, go meet them. If there's something you want to do, go do it. And again, remember, dream big.